Random acts of content simply do not work. Focus is power. So in this video, I interview Amy Landino, best-selling author of Vlog Like a Boss, and she breaks down how to create a focused and powerful content strategy, as well as some quick tips for making your signature show on YouTube that'll get more views and subscribers. Coming up. This video is brought to you by LearnVideo.live, a free online training revealing the exact strategies we use to grow highly influential and profitable YouTube channels from scratch. Watch it free for a limited time at LearnVideo.live. Hey, what's up? Sean Cannell here with Video Influencers, help you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. And I'm standing here today with the author of Vlog Like a Boss, Amy Landino. How's it going?
I'm amazing, Sean. How are you?
Super pumped to be here with you today at Social Media Marketing World. You just finished up a session with tips all about online video, and today we're going to be talking about really developing a YouTube or content strategy for video, as well as developing your signature show.
Vlog like a boss, vlog like a boss, you. Vlog like a boss, vlog like a boss, you. Vlog like a boss, vlog like a boss, you. You can vlog like me too, cause it's easy.
You created Amy TV, but before we get into that, if people are just meeting you, what are you up to and how do you help people?
Yeah, sure. Amy TV is all about helping people go after the life that they want. And that usually takes the form of how do we make the most of the time that we have? How can we be more productive, wake up earlier and use that time for us and just do the things that we want to do when it feels like our time is being taken up by a lot of things that maybe we don't want to do. And so that's what I really teach there.
And how long have you been in this industry and what are you up to today the most in your brand?
Definitely been in this industry a long time. My first YouTube videos were 10 years ago, so that's weird. But I'm just really focused on talking to my girl and just letting her know that there's always something she can do to better her life. If I focus on that, my brand is good. I'm not sitting here thinking like, how's my brand doing? Is everybody figuring things out? If I just teach from an authentic place, that's where I hang out and we're good.
I love that. I love that. Now, I heard another speaker here say that when it comes to standing out online, random acts of content don't work. You got to have a strategy. Like if you're just shooting every which direction, then you probably won't make that much of an impact. So when it comes to developing a content strategy and the idea of kind of creating a show, what is your thought process with Amy TV?
My biggest thought process, again, is one person. Who are we talking to? And what does she want to know? Because if I just do a show just for the sake of calling it Amy TV, that does nothing for anybody but Amy. And that's not who I'm doing this for. So the biggest piece is that you can't have a show without valuable content. What is it that they want? That is going to define everything. If I can get an understanding of what she's thinking about, what she struggles with, what questions she wants answered, that is going to guide every step of my show. So that's like at a very basic level, how I've started designing the experience.
That's perfect. And so if someone's watching and they're like, okay, great, I need to figure out kind of who I'm wanting to reach and figure out what they want. Do you have tips for discovering that?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of what problem do you solve. And so if you solve a specific problem, there's a specific person that this is for. And don't be afraid to choose who that person is, because if you try to go too broad, it's very easy to then get messy and lost in the rest of the world of random acts of content. And so really understanding who that is, not being afraid to go deep and really know who they are. How old are they? What color hair do they have? Where do they live? What's their commute like? Do they have kids? Whatever it is. Understanding them at a deep level will help you define that content. And so my tip is to really just get the lay of the land. I think the biggest excuse in content today is oversaturation. Like, oh, well, I can't do that because Sean and Amy already do it, so who cares? What do they need me for? But it's a blessing. Like, go check out all the oversaturation. See what people are doing. Find who is a complementary audience, somebody that's doing something similar to what you would like to. What are the people like in their audience? And learn from them. Just because you have zero doesn't mean there are zero people to learn from.
I love that. Now, when it comes to the show itself, and I'm sure people watching this video already follow you, they know what you're doing, but when we turn on your show, we see that there's usually a hook in the beginning.
Good morning, good life. Welcome back to Amy TV, where we come together to help you go after the life that you want. You clicked on this video for a great reason. Not because you want to be a successful person, but because you know you're already a successful person and you just want to make sure you're thinking straight.
And then you've kind of got a branded intro and different pieces. You say similar things. What's your thought about structuring and creating a signature show?
There's a few things that I just talked about it on stage here, my authority video formula, which is what you're talking about, sort of the thing I do at the beginning of a video and the graphics and all of that. It's bringing people into an immersive experience, making them feel that it's a very intentional piece of content, but also not wasting their time. So my tips are, you want those things to set the stage for you, because everybody wants their content to be prestigious and awesome and something they're proud of, but it also needs to get to the point. So my tip is, it's 8 seconds that people typically decide, am I staying or leaving a YouTube video? Everywhere else is like way less generous. Like Facebook's like 3 seconds maybe, or Instagram is even worse. So when you get that chance, don't waste those 8 seconds. Show somebody that you plan to deliver on the thing that you said you were going to do. And the rest of the stuff is gravy, dressing it up with graphics and doing all the cool title sequences and introducing yourself. And it's all just flavor. You've got to deliver. If you don't deliver, none of that stuff matters.
And then what are some of the segments and thoughts that you think are important that build it? Do you, always ask a question, content kind of in the middle? What are some of those aspects that are powerful?
Yeah, one of the things I want to talk about is actually a brand new thing that I added to the authority video formula, because content does continue to change a little bit. Long form is a little bit more acceptable now. And so when you have the chance to keep people on for longer, you want to leverage that. I talk about a micro call to action now, which is something that happens after you've started to do a little bit of content setup, but before you've actually started to deliver. And that's usually a really quick and easy win that I can have with the audience. And I do something called Twitter gratitude. It's like, hey, I got to stop for a second and give some gratitude to somebody who retweeted my last video that came out. That is a big signal to the rest of the audience. I should follow her on Twitter. I should retweet her video when it comes out. And maybe I'll have this sort of amazing shining moment. Those micro CTAs, things like that, I drop in just to keep the structure of the content going, but to continue to make it a mutual experience for both. And that's just one example.
I love that. Now, people, when they see your show, they go, wow, this looks beautiful. The background is intentional. It's thoughtful. And everyone would wonder, what camera and lighting do you use? What are some of the practical things in editing and like that?
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm thinking really hard now because my husband's the pro on this, but it's the Canon EOSR. See? We're already doing great. And it's a Sigma 30 millimeter lens that I love. And my office just looks bright and airy, and I absolutely live for it. I'm using some softbox lights. We continue to think about whether or not we're going to do that. And I love Final Cut Pro. I still live in Final Cut Pro. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. I love to edit. It's my creative outlet, in addition to making the video in the first place.
I love that. Now, one of the other things that, of course, you'd be known for, and everyone wants to kind of do online, especially as a content creator or an influencer, is build their personal brand. How do you think about personal branding this year in the current state of social media, marketing, and standing out?
I personally think of it as something that everybody has. Everyone has a personal brand. If somebody doesn't necessarily have an online brand, their mom says something about them when they're not around. Everybody has a personal brand. In 2019, we should all think that way. It's why we're careful about what we post on social media. It represents us. It's our press release. So I personally think that everyone should be thinking about it. It's unfortunately become so over talked about that it's like, oh, get it, personal branding. But we have to be conscious of it and really understand, we want to put out a certain image of ourselves. Everybody thinks about that. And what is that, and how can you best serve with that?
Very, very good. Well, Amy, are you ready for the lightning round?
I don't know. Sure, why not?
What kind of sound does lightning make and motions? Go ahead.
Wait, I don't think lightning makes a sound, right? But thunder does, right?
Here we go. Favorite city, but not where you live?
Las Vegas.
I like Las Vegas. Hey! Viva Las Vegas! Last song you had on repeat?
Yoga by Cannell is my get pumped before I speak song. I love it.
Baby, bend over. Baby, bend over. Baby, bend over. Let me see you do that.
Scale from 1 to 10, how good of a driver are you?
This is just getting personal. I am a 10. And I'm really glad my husband can't hear this right now.
Fill in the blank. Kanye West is...
special. Kanye West is special. I feel differently about him every day. And he's special. He is an artist.
If you could either speak every language on the earth or really talk to animals, what would you choose?
I want to talk to humans. I want to speak in every single language. Oh, and I'm so sad that I don't know more languages because I want it so bad.
Favorite junk food?
Oh, guac and chips and guac all day. Chips and guac, girl. Right.
I don't even consider that a junk food.
I'm just like, everything's a junk food. Everything's bad for you these days.
That's true. Book every influencer watching should read.
How to win friends and influence people.
Classic. We'll link that up in the description below. And also, if you've never picked up Vlog Like a Boss, we'll throw that down there as well. Is double dipping at a party ever acceptable?
No, absolutely not. Nobody needs that.
Do you Instagram your food ever?
I actually want to, but I feel like there's so much pressure that I don't, because I'm like, it's just another sandwich, forget it.
How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
I think it's considered 10 because the pot is 10, right? 10 cups? Yeah.
Cheers. Influencers, how many cups of coffee do you drink a day? Let us know in the comment section below. We've all heard the phrase, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done things differently. What is some advice you would give to your 20-year-old self?
Oh man, I probably would stop putting so much pressure on myself with all the people who are around me, who are absolutely my support system, but what they think about me. Because I believe that you can live up to people's expectations and be okay, or you can totally exceed their expectations and live an amazing life. So I really would tell myself, don't get so in your head about what people think about you right now, because your best is yet to come.
Awesome. Amy Landino. Now, if people want to check out where you're at online, what are the best places?
Yeah, YouTube is a great place, youtube.com/AmyTV, Schmitastic on Instagram and Twitter, and amylandino.com about speaking and all the other fun stuff.
Now, as a final question, and of course, we'll link all that up in the description below, but it's inspiring to see your career, your legacy, the things you've been building, and like a decade on YouTube. Like what? That's absolutely crazy. In our community, we have so many different people. Some are crushing it right now. Some are just starting. Some feel stuck. You've been through ups, downs. You've fought the discouragement, depression, all the stuff we go through, the emotional roller coaster. What's just some advice for our community for whatever it is they're doing as entrepreneurs and creators?
My friends and I always say the sea is never calm. It's always going to be fast moving. It's going to be slow. It's going to be high. It's going to be low. And you just got to keep going. If you want to see better days, you got to keep going. If you're having great days, enjoy it. But you've still got to keep going, because you don't get to stay in this point in time. So I would just say just keep going. There's no better answer than that ever.
Amy, thanks so much for being here on the channel. Influencers, question of the day. Do you have a signature show? What is it you're doing consistently each week on YouTube? Let us know in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next video.